What's going on YouTube? Greg here. Today we're going to be changing out the intake filters on my 2017 Audi R8 V10 Plus. Same for the regular V10, as long as it's the Gen 2, it should be the same exact install. And it's going to be a similar install for the Gen 1 since it is the same engine, but the body panels and the screw layout is probably a little bit different, but you should get a general idea on how to do this. And there aren't any other Gen 2 installs on this because I assume everyone just does it at a shop. But we're going to be doing it here in my driveway, 20 degrees out. So here are the filters. K&N. The other company that makes these are BMC. These are a little bit cheaper, but I did some research online and they're pretty much the same exact thing. So I saved about $80 purchasing these, and these are available on my website in the description below. So for the install, it's simple enough to do it yourself. It's just a little tedious because it's not as easy as just taking the cover off. You have to remove a couple other panels like this before you can access all the bolts. So first thing you'll need T25 Torx and a T30 Torx. So the airbox screws, which are here, I already took these off, and there's a couple in the back as well, all around. These are T25, which you can remove. This is a cover that's just held on by push clips, so you can just gently pull that off. I already popped the clips off, but it comes off very easy like that, and it will allow you to access a couple more screws around the edges. Now, you can see this is loose here because I removed all the front screws. However, there's some screws in the back all the way in there, which you can't really access without taking this off. Taking this off might look complicated, but it's really not. It's just a little difficult to get to the screws if you don't have the right tools. But I already loosened these up again. This is a T30, so you'll need a extension in order to fit down there on your ratchet wrench. There's one there, and there's one on the other side, right there, and there's one in the middle, and you can see it. It's right here, so it's on the inside. That's also a T30. It's a plastic one, which I hate, because they strip out so easily when you're not careful. But you basically just get a T30 and you go from the inside and you loosen it, and you could take it out with your fingers once it gets that loose. So there it is. And then once you have removed all that, then you should be able to wiggle this whole panel up and pull it out carefully. And then we'll have access to the whole airbox. All right, so we have removed the panel here. This is a little tricky, but anyways, it's those 3 screws I told you about, one on each side and then one in the middle. And the back is held on by 2 like push clips, like these. So you want to pull forward and up at the same time, and just be careful, go back and forth, keep wiggling it, and it should eventually pop off. Now we have access to the airbox completely. And another thing, there's this wire wrapped in a heat protected wrap here. That doesn't come off unless you remove these bottom screws here. So I just put it down gently like that in the back. My whole car is PPF, so I'm not too worried. But if it's not, then you might want to put like a clean blanket down or something like that. But you don't have to remove that, it's unnecessary because we have access to these screws. So as you can see, we have these new screws that weren't able to remove before. So we have one here. We had one here, which I removed. That was a little easier. And it looks like we may have to remove maybe these. I'll confirm in a second. But that might not be necessary. We'll check. All right, so I figured it out. There's a screw in here that you have to take out. One there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's it. So once you remove that, this should pop off. And then there's these hoses here, wires. These are all vacuum lines, I'm pretty sure, actually. So you can pop these clips off to remove the airbox cover. And then below that, there's your filter. So now we can go ahead and remove the hose clamp holding that in right there. And this should pull upwards, and we can transfer over the MAF sensor onto the new intake. So when you look in here, there's actually another T25 that holds the filter to the airbox so it doesn't move around. So make sure you take that out too. So you pull the filter out. You can see there's some dust in there, some leaves, so it's doing its job. So I noticed on the OEM filter, it has like this cover on the actual filter itself. So when you pull it back, you can see the actual filter. So it's like double filtration. This blocks the big stuff, and then the filter blocks the small stuff. So yeah, we'll see how big of an upgrade these K&Ns are. Hopefully we get a little bit more noise out of it, same filtration, a little bit of power. I don't expect too much, but yeah, you definitely want to vacuum that out and plug your intake tube with like a towel or something so you don't get any crap inside of it. All right, so now we got to change over the MAF sensor. These are T20s, there's 2 of them. And here's the new K&N filter. Same layout, same size. Got a little carbon fiber on the end. It doesn't have this extra screw there to hold down the filter, so you'll just put that screw back so you don't lose it. And that's really it. So just take these 2 screws off, pull it out, transfer it into the new one, tighten it a little bit, and you're good to go. All right, so we are pretty much done installing the filters. So we transferred over the MAF sensors onto the new filter. We put them on to the car, put them onto the intake tube. It's just held on by 1 hose clamp, and you plug the MAF sensor back in, and this is what it looks like. So now we can go ahead and reassemble the whole car, put the airbox covers back on, put the panel back on, and put that trim piece on, and you're all set.